You found it, our special midsummer edition of CNN Student News. This is great. We're glad to have you along. Broadcasting from the CNN Center, my name is Carl Azuz. First up, world headlines. Here's some of what's been going on since the last time we talked to you. Unrest in Iran after a disputed presidential election led to widespread protests and violence. Now, all of this started when voters thought that the election would be close, or even that President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad had lost. But the Iranian government announced that Ahmadinejad had won, and in a landslide. Demonstrators took to the streets, demanding a full recount. The Iranian government says at least 20 people were killed in clashes with police and militia. The actual death toll may be higher. Iran says it did do a partial recount that confirmed the original election results. Ahmadinejad is scheduled to be sworn in for his second term at the end of July. While you might travel for your summer break, President Barack Obama took a working trip in early July. First, the president met with his Russian counterpart, Dmitry Medvedev. The leaders are trying to reach an agreement to reduce nuclear weapons. After Russia, the president traveled west. You see him here meeting with the Pope at the Vatican. The president also joined other world leaders at the G8 summit in Italy, where they got together to talk about issues facing the world. Mr. Obama ended his international trip in the African nation of Ghana. He cited that country's successful democracy as a model for the African continent. Now, we are bringing you back to Washington. Sonia Sotomayor, President Obama's nominee for the U.S. Supreme Court, got grilled by the Senate Judiciary Committee this week. It's part of the advice and consent that the Senate gives when the president nominates someone to the Supreme Court. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says he's concerned that Sotomayor may favor certain groups as a justice, but it's widely expected that she will be confirmed by the full Senate, which would make her the first Hispanic justice on the High Court. You can watch her confirmation hearings live at cnn.com/live. Now, another story that people around the world have been discussing for weeks. We've gotten some of your comments about Michael Jackson on our Facebook page. The 50-year-old entertainer died in a Los Angeles hospital on June 25th after suffering cardiac arrest. His heart had stopped. The self-proclaimed king of pop began his career with his brothers at age 5. His solo album, Thriller, became the world's biggest-selling album of all time. Jackson's legacy isn't without controversy, though. He battled legal and financial problems throughout his career. Still, the Guinness Book of World Records calls him the most successful entertainer of all time.
Today's shout-out goes out to all of our Facebook fans who kept up with us this summer. About what percent of U.S. high school graduates go directly to college? If you think you know the answer, shout it out. Is it fewer than 15%, 30%, 45%, or more than 60%? You've got 3 seconds. Go! According to the National Center for Education Statistics, more than 60% of high school graduates have gone directly to college in recent years. That's your answer, and that's your shout-out.
Okay, check this out. There's this one principal who says all of his graduates go on to a 4-year college. The high school we're talking about is called Capital Prep. It is a public school, it is in an inner-city neighborhood, and it is a place where progress is being made. Soledad O'Brien takes us to class.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Where's your coat, man? You're a tough guy. Good morning.
Every morning at 7:30 a.m., you can find Steve Perry here.
How's everything?
He's principal of Capital Preparatory Magnet School in Hartford, Connecticut.
What's up, Chief?
Each and every day, he and Vice Principal Rich Bagansky greet each and every student as they walk through Capital's doors.
How are you today?
For Perry, being a principal is all about the details.
Whose gray is this? That's not ours. Okay. Mr. Carter, you gotta be kidding me. That's the fastest you can move, son?
From uniform inspections.
Where's your blazer, son? Okay. Having it's not enough, right? Put it on.
To morning meetings.
I know there are quite a few who've not done curriculum mapping.
He does it all.
I wake up at 4:45 in the morning and I drive kids to school.
You take kids to school?
I do.
In your car?
I have to.
You pick them up?
Every day.
Why?
Because
You're the principal.
I know. I'm the bus driver in the morning, though. You do what you got to do to get it done.
And getting it done is priority number one for Perry and his staff.
What would be a conclusion?
We have a school that is designed to send children to college. If we don't send children to college, we are not doing our job.
How many of your kids go to college?
Well, 100% of our graduates go on to college.
100%.
100%.
Every child who graduates.
Every child who graduates from Capital Prep goes on to a 4-year college. Period.
Okay, sweetie, after you finish, it's all set for you.
Children like 18-year-old Glorious Menifee.
My blazer's in my locker. I honestly believe that if I hadn't gone to Capital Prep, I think I wouldn't have finished high school.
In spite of a tough childhood,
Love you, Mom.
she's smart, hardworking, a natural leader. And she's thrived, she says, because she's surrounded by other motivated students.
Oh, okay. I know how to do this. Everyone has a certain goal, and that goal is to go to college. So when you kind of hear it, it's like, it spreads like wildfire. Like, I'm going to college. No, I'm going to college. No, I'm going to college.
And if you disagree, raise your hand. That's fine.
How does Capital send all of its graduates on to college?
What we do right is we design a school that's year-round. There's no reason why children should be home during the summer. What we do right is we have a longer school day. What we do right is we go to school on Saturdays. What we do right is work hard to get children to a place where they need to be.
All right, for stories of other Black leaders making a difference in their communities, watch Black in America 2. It premieres on July 22nd and 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern. We have a free curriculum guide with discussion questions and a learning activity that you can use with the program. You can access all of this at your favorite website, cnnstudentnews.com. Well, another program that tries to develop tomorrow's leaders descends on Atlanta every summer. It's called Leadership Unplugged. It brings together about 100 high school sophomores and juniors from across the state of Georgia. This is really cool for them because they get to move into the dorms at Georgia Tech and then learn directly from the leaders at CNN. We asked these future leaders what advice they would give to the incoming class of 2013.
My advice would be every day is a challenge and you just have to attack it with your best.
The biggest thing is to plan ahead. High school is a long, tiring, tedious process, and there you're gonna have their ups and downs, and I was just telling them to stick with it.
Try new things, just don't be afraid to branch out.
Clubs. That's where you're gonna meet the most people, teachers, network, make a lot of good friends.
Don't just hang out with one group of people. Make sure you meet other people and be more social and be more diverse.
Keep a balance between their social and their academic life.
Don't get lazy with your schoolwork because it will follow you all the way through your high school career.
Just be yourself and learn as much as you can because you're really going to use what you learn in high school in the rest of your life.
Well, before we leave you today, this ain't your daddy's NASCAR. It's your great-granddaddy's. These antique Ford Model Ts raced from New York to Seattle, Washington at 35 miles per hour. Woo! It was a tough trek for the cars and for the drivers as well. Think about this, 4,000 miles, a whole month on the road, no air conditioning, no cruise control, no radio? You can bet the owners of these classic cars weren't drifting except maybe off to sleep. Well, luckily, none of the Model Ts got T-boned. We know that's kind of lame. It looked like they were all on their way to a tea party. What would a summer show be without a couple of puns? Now, we are not saying goodbye. Our Facebook page is always open. We've been putting up new videos all summer long, and they kind of show you a different side of us than you normally see on the show. You can check them out at facebook.com/CNN Student News, and we will be back with our daily shows starting on Monday, August 17th. We'll look forward to seeing you then. Thank you for watching this special summer webcast. For CNN Student News, I'm Carl Azuz.